Victoria's second largest city is reflected in the vivid summer colours of Corio Bay. Geelong's proud maritime heritage now blossoming into the heartbeat of a vibrant foreshore precinct. And it's this superb location, an hour southwest of Melbourne, that will test the early contenders for triathlon honours in 2013. International competitors prepared to search for the hurt to prove the difference between those who savoured an off-season and those who suffered through a pre-season. The Geelong Multisport Festival delivering action for all ages, with opportunity and honours awaiting those ready to push themselves to the limit or beyond. Hello and welcome to Geelong, and it looks an absolute picture today for the third annual Geelong Multisport event. Hi there, I'm Ian Cohen, and we've got something for everyone today because we've got three different triathlon disciplines. We've got the ITU short course, we've got the long course, and we've also got the Olympic distance. There's world champions and a host of stars here, one of which is Emma Snowsill, our 2008 Beijing gold medalist. Emma, how do you see today unfolding?
Look, it's really interesting. You know, we have two London Olympians, one competing in the sprint distance today in Emma Jackson, up against a young up-and-coming field of athletes. And then we have Emma Moffat, Beijing bronze medalist, who's gone to the longer distance. So, you know, there's a good opportunity for these athletes to mix it up, have a little bit of a change from their normal routine of ITU racing. And, you know, in the men's race as well, Brad Carterfelt, Peter Robinson up against an amazing field. But, you know, Moffy's got her work cut out with the likes of Melissa Haschel being the reigning world champion in that distance. So, you know, it's a great course. There's a great event. The weather's fantastic. It's really turned on everything.
Terrific, Emma. You've heard some of the big names. Let's have a listen to some of the top contenders as we get set for the Urban Hotels long course race.
Actually quite excited. There are definitely nerves going into something that I haven't done, but yeah, it's very different walking down in the dark, and yeah, strapping lots of different food items to my bike is a little bit different, but yeah, overall I'm pretty excited. Well, coming off a win just 3 weeks ago in Auckland, how's the body feeling? How's the body ready to go for this morning?
Yeah, I feel great. You know, it was a fantastic win and I had a fantastic day out, but recovered well, ready to go today, and looking forward to getting out there and mixing it up with the guys again.
You know, Paris to the south down here, as Mitch Anderson would call it. You know, Geelong's turned on the weather, so it should be a great, exciting race. And you know, both the men's and females field is quite, you know, stacked here today. So it'll be exciting to see. I think it'll be an extremely close race, and I think it'll come down to the run to see who's got the foot speed towards the, I guess, the later half of the half marathon.
Clayton, your tactic is still to really go from the swim straight out?
Yeah, it's the only tactic I know. I think tactics will come into play a little bit today. I think the wind might kick up a little bit later, and it'll be interesting to see who's still got the legs in the back end.
Well, there he is, Clayton Fattel, the early favourite. It was certainly an early start for all competitors here at Eastern Beach. Emma, there's the swim course, 1.9 k's ahead.
Well, a little bit fresh outside this morning, but inside it still allows for the 20-degree water to have wetsuits, and it's going to be nice and flat while that wind stays down, but I'm sure as we head out onto the bike, it's going to pick up a lot more during the day.
It's certainly going to be a technical finish onto the bike. You can see them heading right out through the point. They then come back through the Port Arlington Road, and then they turn back on themselves and come into the Geelong Township proper. 90 k's on the cycle.
Well, 2 45-kilometre laps on the bike. They'll be able to see each other at each of the turnarounds and on the laps to gauge where each other's at in the race.
And that is going to be very important as they make their way through the parkland, up and down the hills and dales in this run leg. It is 21.1 kilometres long. Let's get underway. Just under starters' orders here for the Urban Hotels long course triathlon at Eastern Beach. And Emma, what's going through the competitors' minds here at this stage? The water looks a pretty good temperature.
Well, a beach start for these athletes, and there is quite a little bit of a wade till they get to some deeper water, but most of the tall athletes will be making the most of this opportunity.
You can see them dolphining through the water there. It's a men's start and a women's start, and it's a washing machine early on.
It certainly plays in favour of some of the stronger swimmers, the weaker swimmers, particularly with the girls. They can also tack onto the back of the boys that are not swimming quite as fast as our leader here, Clayton Fattel.
Fattel comes into it as the defending champion and the race leader, but he's getting shadowed by a couple of others. They're swimming out to the right-hand side of the yacht club. You could see some of the craft in the background earlier, and this is where Fattel will be trying to put a bit of distance into those other competitors.
Clayton really knows the swim's his strength, and he really chose, even in his starting position, to stay away from the other athletes. He likes to have his own water. He likes to be able to swim out the front on his own and really avoid the mess of these sort of turnarounds at the boys.
1.9 kilometres is the swim, a roughly triangular course, so they're almost up to the apex now before they head back in towards the beach. It's pretty rough and ready on the boys, though.
It is. It's certainly a time where you have to really keep your position. Everybody's jostling. Everybody's trying to make sure that they don't get dropped off the pack. You can see that they're really closely tied together, and this is also where they can kind of draft in the swims, conserve a bit of energy before they get out onto that 90k bike.
Well, Clayton Fattel, the defending champ, has put himself out into a 20-metre lead. This is the chase group, Emma, and they've got their heads down.
What a chase group at that. It has the likes of Christian Kemp, who won just 3 weeks ago in Auckland, James Hodge, Sam Betten, Luke Bell, and Sam Appleton hunting the leader down.
We'll leave the Urban Hotel's long course for just a moment because this is the Geelong Multi-Sport Festival and the Subaru Olympic Distance Triathlon is about to get underway. Something close to your heart, Emma.
It's fantastic to see so many competitors down here in Geelong. That's obviously such a sporting state, Victoria. Geelong, it's close to their heart, and obviously Olympic distance racing is close to mine.
Terrific numbers involved, and you can see some of the elite age groupers there making their way out. Plenty of support from the crowd as well.
And if you weren't competing, there was definitely a lot to keep you occupied in the Sport and Lifestyle Expo. A triathlete shopping paradise ranging from nutrition, the latest gears and bike equipment, obviously plenty for the kids to do as well. And Subaru ambassador Emma Jackson was down with the fans to talk about her prospects for the upcoming 2013 season.
Well, Geelong this weekend is the start of my 2013 season, so yeah, I'm looking forward to going out there and seeing how my base training has gone and just having a good hit out. The sprint distance is quite a short race compared to the Olympic actually being half the distance, so only a quick 1 hour race, but I like both distances. I love going out there and just going hard from the start and just seeing what you can do. Great, London. Oh yeah, Geelong is a great multi-sport festival. I mean, it runs over a few days. There's events for everyone. There's a swim, there's a run, there's a triathlon, so it's great for the whole family, and I would encourage everyone to come down and have a look and even just spectate for the first time and maybe get involved next year.
The Urban Geelong long course triathlon continues after the break. We're about to hit transition. History dates back to 1848 and Governor Latrobe. As we rejoin the action for the Urban Geelong long course, they're heading into the beach for the first transition. Fattel first out of the water.
He's going to whip that wetsuit off pretty quickly and probably have a little sneak behind him just to see how far he's got on the rest of the field. It's a time to sort of relax but also not rush, because this is the time where you can make unnecessary mistakes in transition.
Look at the number of bikes there, an enormous amount of people involved in the age groupers. This is the chasing pack, including Hodge and Appleton.
He's got them hot on his heels. He's only got 17 seconds, which is probably a little bit less than I would have anticipated. But talking of good swims, just a couple back is Emma Moffat emerging with the boys. Now, she's had an amazing swim to be keeping up with the best of these boys in this field.
You can see Moffat hot on their heels. Brad Carlefelt almost went the wrong way. He's still got another 80 metres to run down to the transition zone. That's where Fattel is right now. No time to muck around here, Emma.
You can see him struggling with his wetsuit a little bit. He's trying to rush. He can see these guys running down to their bikes already. They're going to make the most of this opportunity. See that he's only just left. Hopefully not make the same mistakes, not flounder with their wetsuits or their helmets or lose any nutrition off their bikes by stressing through transition.
The number 15
you could see there is James Hodge from Launceston. The 21-year-old is the youngest in this elite field. Number 5 is Christian Kemp. He's looking for success after having a win in Auckland as well. The aero helmets are going on. These boys are keen to chase Fattel and just narrow that gap down and make as much time as they can going through transition. And have a look at this, Emma. Emma Moffat has emerged from the water with a huge lead, swimming with the boys, the Beijing bronze medalist.
This is not a transition she'd be accustomed to with so many bikes, so she's obviously had to find a way to her bike. And look, she's beat the likes of Peter Robinson out of the water, so it goes to show you the calibre of her talent.
No beg pardons either in the transition zone. It's every man or woman for themselves as they make their way out onto the bike course. And this is where we find Clayton Fattel climbing his way out of Eastern Beach.
Clayton is also a supreme bike rider, and he knows that using this first hill out of transition, everybody's going to be hurting, and he wants to put the pressure on even more. Now, Moffy, you can see she's already out in front, chosen not to take the time trial bike, but she's had a fantastic swim and put 3 minutes 30 into Melissa Haschel just in the first leg of this race.
Haschel comes in here. Now, she had a change to her wetsuit after Auckland. She trimmed the bottom of the legs off so it was easier in transition, and she certainly hasn't mucked around here.
Melissa certainly got back on her feet fairly quickly after a bit of a nasty crash in Auckland. She has a bit of a sore hip, but I think things are looking good for her.
This is James Hodge. He's in second position on the road, and you can see he's fast hunting Clayton Fattel.
Clayton looks really comfortable on the bike. He has a fantastic setup, a fantastic position. He really has put in the kilometres after all these years of Olympic distance racing and now making the transition to this longer course.
Clayton Fattel, the leader on the road, and let's have a look at what is confronting the boys and the girls. The cycle course of this long course marathon, 90 kilometres, so there's 2 laps. It goes out on the Point Henry Road, touches onto the Port Arlington Road. And Emma, what do you think of the course?
It's actually quite a deceiving course. It does appear quite flat, but it's quite undulating and it's very, very open, so it could be very subjected to wind out there.
Does get technical towards the end. Coming into the corner now, Fattel is still in the lead, but he has got a chasing bunch behind him, and they're getting close, including Christian Kemp. And these guys would love to be playing the mind games with Clayton Fattel. And while the men are on the road, here's the women, Emma.
We have Anna Cleaver hot on the heels of Emma Moffat, so she's had a fantastic swim as well to be out with the likes of her. Melissa Haschel, though, has made up an astonishing 2 minutes at this point in the race.
She is certainly looming as dangerous. This is the girl from Bondi, Anna Cleaver. There's the catch on Moffat, and of course, they have to keep their distance, Emma.
It's a non-drafting race, and that's 12 metres between the athletes' bikes, so there is absolutely no way that they can gain any advantage. And you can see that Moffy has to stand clear, but obviously look at Melissa. She is really looming on these girls. She is chasing them down. She knows that she has got them in sight. Back to the men's race, Clayton is not giving up this lead. He knows these guys are hot on his heels, but again, he is just wanting to dominate from the front, and this is what I really love about his style of racing.
Don't forget, a lot of these boys are preparing for the Melbourne Ironman and the tail end of March, and this is important preparation for them. Christian Kemp certainly narrowing the gap.
This will be his first debut in an Ironman event as well, so I'm sure they're all great hit-outs for these guys for whatever they're choosing to do for the rest of the season.
So the men's and the women's races certainly hotting up in the long course competition. And there is something for everyone. Look at that hairstyle. That was part of the best dressed competition, and people wanting to get involved wearing something blue for the Target Foreshore Fun Run, supporting Give Where You Live. The blue colour key to the Give Where You Live Foundation, and 50% of the entry fee into either the 10K or the 5K event being donated to the community partner, Give Where You Live. Different ages were involved. Some walked, some ran, some pushed the pram, some took the dogs. It was all about fun for the Target Foreshore Fun Run, supporting Give Where You Live. Here are some of our winners from the 10K and also the 5K. Congratulations to them. The Urban Geelong long course event is still underway, and we're about to get stuck into the ITU sprint classification in just a moment.
7:32.